Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins.
What's up? I'm the Crypto Crow. Welcome. It's about 7:12 on Monday evening. And man, I've got so much stuff going on. This is just a casual video. I'm gonna go over some of the different stuff going on in the market and just talk about a lot of random stuff. Not so much random, but just kind of what's been going on. What's up, everybody? Chainwise coming together, yes. It's a little slow, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little slow, but we're still Chainwise 73 days out. So it's, it's coming together. There's still a lot of speakers that I still have to add, and there's still a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, Chainwise it's coming, but it's a little slow. I mean, this market, man, it's just kicking everybody's butt so bad. And couple things that I wanted to address. First thing that I wanted to address was like this whole SEC crackdown on influencers and what have you. I've been mentioned in some tweets and things. Everybody knows I've done paid ICO reviews and things like that. But I also think everybody knows I've been so transparent since my very first video. Like I've never I was being transparent about paid content before I even knew there was a law about it. So, I mean, even when I was a fight promoter, you know what I mean? I always followed commission rules in other states, even though when I started in Kentucky back in 2006, we didn't have any regulations. We didn't have any regulatory body. The commissions were only doing boxing. They weren't even doing MMA yet. So, but I had such a really good reputation, just because I'm a by the book guy. I mean, when it comes to anything legal or anything, what's the point in busting your ass trying to build a company and make a living if it's all going to go down the shitter because you broke a bunch of laws to get there? So, I'm not too concerned, just to let everybody know, like, I don't really think I haven't gotten any letters or, anything. I've always been very transparent. I did add to every video that I basically made anywhere from 0.2 to 1 Bitcoin for paid content. Every paid video I've done, I always use the YouTube thing. You select it, when there's like a paid review or whatever's going on. There are features in there, and it makes a little pop-up come up on the video, like this involves paid advertising or whatever it says. I don't even remember. Just everything I could, and then I say it in the video, and I tell everybody when something is not paid. So I've been very transparent. I don't think I've done anything wrong. I don't even know when these laws or what have you started. It's just become this new thing. I know, like, on November 1st, there was some stuff going on about influencers, like the SEC cracking down, and I think the whole thing with Mayweather and DJ Khaled, or I can't even remember his name. When that happened, it is what it is, but I'm not too concerned. I mean, I have records and stuff. I've seen some influencers, they're posting their whole portfolios. I'm not doing that. I'm not making my entire portfolio public. Primarily, well, there's two reasons. One, pretty much everything I've ever been paid, I require Bitcoin. Like, I don't really take company crypto. If I'm an advisor or I'm helping, like kind of advise a project on their marketing or things like that, then obviously you get crypto for that. Or tokens. But for like paid content, I really only accept Bitcoin for the most part. I can't even remember any projects where I've accepted their token instead of Bitcoin. There might be a couple, but I'm just not going to make my whole portfolio out there public. That puts me at risk. And like, if the SEC wants to know, they can send me a letter. I'll be more than happy to give them my wallet address and let them see for themselves. But I'm not making all that stuff public. To me, that's not anybody's real business. That's just going, and I haven't seen anywhere that the SEC is requiring that anyway. So we all know I'm already such a hacker target, and I'm just not going to make my portfolios public. So if somebody wants to know, they're more than happy to it. Like the government or something like that. But outside of that, I'm not making all that public. That's crazy. You're safe, Crow. You've been straight with us. I feel I have been. I always try to be completely honest, very transparent. And it's not always easy in the sense that, some things are embarrassing. I've been very upfront about just really everything. I mean, what you see is what you get with me. And it kind of, I'm in the dentist chair listening to Crypto Crow. Now, this is awesome. That's great. Well, hopefully your root canal or whatever you've got going on goes smoothly. Yeah, guys. So I'm not really overly concerned. I think that, my history, and it's funny because it does bother me though. I see a lot of people trying to throw, Ian Bellina or Superman or some of these other guys under the bus. Look, do some of these guys, man, do they maybe buy into a particular project and then talk about it and pump up the value? Sure, I'm sure that some of these guys, I'm not naming either of those two specifically, but just generally speaking in the market, yeah. And, like I've always said, I have never once in the history of my YouTube channel, cross my heart, all that fun stuff, bought a crypto, talked about it on my channel just to sell it when it spiked. Never once have I ever done that. Like, I've just never done anything shady. Like, it's just not been my mission. And I look at it like I'm here for other reasons. Like I've said before, the money just, if it works, like I'm not making squat right now on really anything. And I saw another YouTuber make a point recently about, like, why would you listen to an influencer anyway? Like if they were making a shit ton of money and they were doing it exceedingly well, they wouldn't be on YouTube talking about it, right? And I thought, you know what? That is kind of true to an extent. Everybody, I know so many of you guys have been following me since the very beginning when I was basically doing videos out of my mortgage office. And so for me, I feel like what I have done, I kind of grew with everybody, right? I never came out and said, hey, everybody, I'm an expert, listen to me, do what I do. I've always said I'm just some dumb guy on the internet. But what I have done is, as I'm learning about different things, whether that's bot trading or technical analysis or whatever I expose myself to and I dive into and learn, I basically share with everybody. By no means do I ever try to pretend to be an expert, but I think I do work pretty hard, and I think I have a pretty good grasp on things, and I just share what I think and my opinions, and so that tends to have value for people. So but I continue to do videos while infrequently recently because I've been very busy with a lot of cool stuff. Got some big announcement coming, like stuff that's going to blow your mind. The fact of the matter is I left the mortgage industry and I basically quit being an independent business development consultant because of what I do in crypto. And with the bear market being what it is, it's like, it's a waiting game. Like, Bitcoin's at 3875 right now, down from like 4,200. It spiked up a little bit. And a lot of people are saying it could go to 3, even 2,000 before it just starts to shoot up. And I think it's absolutely possible. And while this is all transpiring, a lot of us YouTubers who have quit our jobs to go full-time into crypto are struggling. I'm not necessarily struggling, but I'm not necessarily living the high life either. And I realized, it was time that I started looking into actually establishing a business, something that I can work, as a job, not just, I'm researching for my YouTube channel because I have projects that are paying me to talk about them and share my opinions. because there is really none of that right now. Nobody knows what's going on. ICO companies have lost so much money. You know, it's funny because the SEC kind of comes out and they say, well, we're here to protect everybody. But why does their protection always end up screwing tens of thousands, if not millions of people? I mean, I almost wish that they would have just came out and said, okay, influencers, here are your laws and guidelines. ICOs, here are your laws and guidelines. And just have it all worked out, and boom, it's out there, done overnight. It's this dragging out of things, the uncertainty, the nobody really knowing what's going to happen next, what just happened. It's like, you know, it's just craziness. And so the market has fallen so much that everybody that has bought in is now waiting for things to come back, or they're selling at a loss and they're frustrated and angry. And it's like the sentiment overall, if I look at Telegram and if I look at different groups and things, it's like just people are angry and everybody wants to point the finger at somebody. And it's sad. It really is sad. And then on top of that, you have other YouTubers who are going at, it's like war. It's almost like, you know, Armageddon of crypto. It's just everybody is tired of waiting. Everybody has been, you know, it's like everybody is now down from their euphoria, and the reality has set in, and it's been a very frustrating period for everybody. And, you know, with that, you know, I decided like I need to find my long-term plan, and I figured out what that was. I can't announce it yet, but I'm doing something very, very, very big. Honestly, it was something that I was working on for a while. I had mentioned it in my Telegram channel briefly, and then a bunch of people jumped to conclusions because people are just angry. So anything that they have that they could kind of get frustrated about. But it's going to be a very, very cool thing, and it's something that I'm very proud of, something I'm very excited about. I just cannot announce it yet. I'm hoping to by the end of this week. I would love to be able to tomorrow if I can. And if I can, I will. But we're working on some things. And hopefully this will really change the way people do business in crypto. And I'm not having any kind of ICO. I'm not doing any of that stuff. It's nothing like that. But I do think it's going to help a lot of people. And I think it's going to help me because honestly, I expect it to do well. And I think I'm probably going to make a lot of money with it. I'm not going to lie. But with that, it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for me to do a lot more things that, you know, like if this goes well, I will likely probably never do another paid review again. It will be, and if it goes well, I will actually be able to afford a team to help me do a lot of different stuff and just make the content on my channel better. Because no matter what, it doesn't matter how successful I am, I don't think I'll ever be leaving YouTube. Like I just, you know, what started out for me as a bit of a joke, a funny hobby kind of, let me just talk to nobody kind of thing became everything that it is today. And I owe all of that to you guys. And so I have some interesting ideas on how I want to kind of give back to all of you that have followed me through, you know, this Red Sea. Look, this isn't going to last forever. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now that leads me to believe that things are probably going to get a little worse before they get better. But when they turn around, I really see things going absolutely crazy. It's just a matter of waiting things out. So, somebody just tipped me $10. Data bunker. I don't know what that was for. There's no question or comment or anything, but thank you. So, Crow, International Man of Mystery. No, it's really nothing like that. I will say that the contracts have been signed, and I will also say that I am setting up a new corporation, and I'm getting some new licenses. And hopefully soon I'll be able to let everybody know what it is. what all is entailed. You guys are gonna freak. Like, all of you who are like loyal followers of mine and have been from the beginning are absolutely gonna freak out when you find out exactly what it is I'm doing. You're gonna go nuts. I promise you that. But a lot of long-term goals are finally coming to fruition, and it's very exciting, but very nerve-wracking. It's very scary in a way because it is kind of a big deal. So my wife and I have talked about it, and I know it sucks because I'm just kind of teasing everybody that actually cares, because I can't say specifically what it is, but I will say that when I do make the announcement, it'll be worth it, and you guys are going to go crazy. So let's see. So anyway, Bitcoin, I've been, I'm going to give this guy some credit. I tweeted him. I've tweeted him in the past and he's never responded, but maybe if he watches this video, let me see. If he watches this video, maybe it'll convince him to like reach back out to me. This guy, I've watched his TA in the past, and I've talked about him on this channel before as well. Was there no way to, wow, that sucks for him. He should change it. Oh, there he is. Financial freedom. This guy's only got 11,000 subs, which is nuts because this guy's TA.
Hi guys, alright, quick update for Bitcoin. It's been a while, so just a couple of things. Follow me on Twitter.
And I like the way he talks. I dig the accent, but he's very well spoken, and he's you guys should go and watch this video. It's his last video, most recent video. Bitcoin 20,000 to 2K crash video re-uploaded. So back when Bitcoin was around 15 grand, this guy called it to a T. Said it's going to hit 20 grand and then it's going to crash down to 2. And I've watched this guy. You guys know I've talked about him a few times over the past year, and I've referenced his stuff. I've tried reaching out to him in the past. He never responds. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he's not getting the messages or he just doesn't give a shit. I tweeted him today and I was like, let's talk, because I would like to have this guy on the channel, do an interview. Maybe he'd be willing to teach some things, some tips and tricks, give some more insight as to what he sees happening in the near future. But this video, only 1.7 thousand views, and it's like crazy. This video to me put this guy on my long-term map. Like, just the way he thinks, the way he looks at the market, his TA, he uses Fibonacci retracement and Elliott wave, which basically just tells me I need to learn those two indicators like the back of my hand and screw a lot of the other crazy shit that I've been trying to research and learn. We tease if we pay you here. Learn, earn, don't get burned, but I won't say how. I don't even know what that means, Professor Wally, to be honest. So anyway, you guys should check this guy out. Subscribe to his channel and watch his stuff because he's damn good at what he does. And he called this back at a $15,000 Bitcoin. And what he did was, is in this video, he references the old video that he did back then, just to kind of remind everybody, like, I hate to say I told you so, but I did say all of this time here and here. And he's right. He did. I mean, he called it, and like, he deserves a lot of respect for that, and he definitely deserves more subs. Hopefully the guy will reach out to me someday. I'd love to do something with him and hopefully help him out even more. But yeah, I mean, he sells a lot. I guess he's got a Shopify. He should just have Udemy courses and make things a hell of a lot easier, but he kind of does things his own way. And he has a Shopify course, and a lot of the courses or videos that he has are like 30 euros or something. I don't even know what the hell that is in US money. I thought about checking out some of them. I don't really know what those videos contain exactly. I don't know if they're actual lessons or if it's just more like kind of YouTube type stuff. I don't know what it is, but I plan to check it out. Yeah, I like squirrels. They're cute. Rats with long tails. Yeah, good. I'm glad to see you guys subscribing to him because let's see, 265. Wow. Bunch of you guys subscribed right now. That's cool. So just got him a nice little chunk of viewers. So if I can, you know, I'd like to interview him and just kind of go over like his methodology and the tools he uses and the, you know, his impression of the market. He doesn't even, I don't even know what the guy looks like, because he doesn't even show himself on the videos. It's all business. He doesn't, you know, he's not looking for any fame or anything. He just, you know, he has a way about him that I like listening to this guy. He's definitely, he's one of my favorite TA guys out on the interwebs, especially after that video. Because I'm like, dude, you're so right. Like, just tell people you told them so. You earned it. Like, so kudos to him. Boy, I'd love to get him out to Chainwise, get him his own, get him a lecture on TA, put him on national television. That'd be cool. I would love to do that. But I think he's in the UK, and travel would be crazy expensive. And this isn't World CryptoCon, folks, but there's cool stuff happening. All right. So here's the thing that I was just kind of screwing around a little bit today, and I came across some stuff, and I'm like, that would make a pretty interesting video for those that aren't familiar or don't know, because I didn't know. Like, I've had conspiracies. You know, I've put on my tinfoil hat in the past, and I've talked about, you know, how I believe that, you know, Bitcoin could very easily have been planned to be like the, you know, this new world currency or something along those lines. And hire me, Crow, I need a job. You know, there's definitely, like, once I've made the announcement for what I'm doing, I mean, I'm probably going to have to hire some people for support and stuff. Hey, Crow, where's his link? I missed it. It's just financial freedom in YouTube. And you'll find him. You might have to scroll down a little bit. Hey, Crow. Hi, everyone. Love your videos. Bitcoin will be huge, and everyone who is patient will benefit big time. Everyone smash the likes. Yeah, this really is. It's basically it's a survival game right now. It's really what it is. It's do what you can to survive, pay your bills, feed your kids, and do what you can until the market turns around with all the new regulations, bells and whistles in place. And, you know, the futures market really sent the Bitcoin market into the shitter. But you know, even like if you watch that video I was just telling you about with financial freedom, I mean, he broke it down like so succinctly. I mean, it was just like, wow. I mean, it's like a masterpiece, because he explained it all in so solid a way that I was just like, man, how do you only have 11,000 followers? But he doesn't allow comments on his videos. He kind of keeps himself down a bit. He doesn't do all of the things that would help his videos rank. I mean, you saw I had to scroll down just to find his channel by punching in financial freedom. I'd love to get my hands on this guy's channel and help him blow it up, because he definitely deserves it. So anyway, I made jokes in the past, and I've done some stuff about how, you know, I believe that Bitcoin was created by like a secret group, you know, a clandestine organization, or ultimately somebody that's not a guy named Satoshi Nakamoto. Even if you read the original white paper of Bitcoin, he references we a lot. We this, we that, things like that. Not I. It's not like it was some guy sitting in a laboratory in his basement, you know, concocting all of this stuff. I knew that it was much deeper than that. However, I didn't really understand. I didn't know that there was actually more history to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies than the 2009 Bitcoin white paper. And so that's what we're going to dive into a little bit today. So this is what the NSA told their employees about digital currencies in 1995. Now, here's the thing. Back in 1995, the NSA had apparently released a white paper. I've tried finding it. I could not find it anywhere anymore. But they had apparently released a white paper about a project that was very, very similar to Bitcoin. The algorithm at the time was, I guess it was SHA-1 or something like that. Like it was just brutally archaic. But from 1995 to 2009, I believe the NSA perfected it and started using the SHA-256 algorithm, and then launched Bitcoin into the stratosphere. That is what I truly believe, especially after reading a lot of this stuff. Now, I'm not going through everything, but you can find a lot of information about 1996 NSA white paper, not the only piece of evidence that the NSA may have been involved in the creation of the blockchain and Bitcoin. Now, this is actually, so they had linked to this top secret communicator NSA employee publication that this article linked to it, but it's no longer there. It gives you a 404. But this is an excerpt from the article, or from the communicator that they sent to their employees. Some of you may be aware that one of the big stumbling blocks in using the internet for buying and selling goods and services is the lack of a secure and reliable system to pay for them. Several entrepreneurs have been attempting to develop reliable solutions to this problem. Mark Twain Bankshires of St. Louis recently announced that it would soon offer its customers electronic cash, or e-cash, services developed by DigiCash, an Amsterdam company run by cryptography-savvy David Chaum. Initially, these services are intended to overcome many of the disadvantages of using credit cards for small dollar transactions, but these same technologies could offer new opportunities to those bent on counterfeiting, money laundering, or electronic theft. Okay, this was just one excerpt. And so the subcommittee suggested Congress might consider requiring these proposed cyber systems to show both a demonstrated ability to protect themselves and an ability to assist law enforcement officials when direct or indirect abuse occurs. Now, what they're basically saying is that they were, at the time, they had all these concerns about, well, what if there were a digital currency? How would the digital currency work? How could the digital currency be assigned to a user without exposing exactly who that user is, while also giving that user the ability to prove that they are the owners of that particular wallet or that cryptocurrency? And then they were talking about safety measures. They basically wanted a way for the government to be able to go in and access the entire blockchain if they needed for security purposes. And a part of that technology effort was something called a Clipper chip. Okay? Now, it is worth noting, considering their assertion that digital currency companies may be able to help law enforcement when abuses occur, that 1995 was also a big year in the Clipper chip wars, in which the NSA wanted to require technology companies to put backdoors into their hardware with a special NSA-friendly cryptography chip called the Clipper chip. When it was proven that this would inevitably make systems insecure, not just from the NSA, but also common criminals, the issue was dropped. And the cyberpunks at the time scored a key victory. By 1996, the Clipper chip project was all but abandoned. And if you pull it up, you can find a little bit more detailed information. Apparently AT&T, they love to get hacked they love to let hackers in. At least they did with my phone. But these guys were like some of the first adopters of this Clipper chip. And it was actually soldered into the board itself. It wasn't socketed, it was soldered into the board, and they thought that might make it like tamper-proof. But anyway, this technology was killed. Or was it? This is the thing that draws question to me. This is all stuff from 1995, 1996. We didn't even hear about Bitcoin or see a Bitcoin white paper until 2009. What have they been doing all these years? If they had already started working on this kind of technology back in 95, why would we believe that the Satoshi Nakamoto guy or group is anybody other than potentially either ex-NSA employees who worked together on furthering this failed project at the time, or it not even necessarily failed, because they basically put out a white paper explaining a lot of this stuff. Let's see here. The 1996 NSA white paper, not the only piece of evidence that the NSA may have been involved in the creation of the blockchain and Bitcoin, by Ken Shortgen Jr., the Daily Economist. The TDC note, if you remember, there was an idiot, that wasn't even relevant, and it kind of was, but Where is the thing that I had a bunch of stuff actually bookmarked upstairs, but I didn't bring it all down. Which is what makes Satoshi's primary invention of decentralization so important. In addition to concerns over money laundering and financial organized crime and terrorism, the government's primary. So, I mean, basically, the gist of it is the NSA had been working on this shit in 1995, 96, published a white paper in 96 about it, and then it just kind of went away. They wanted to create this blockchain infrastructure. A lot of the elements of, and I don't have the article that I had upstairs, which broke some of this stuff down a little bit better. That was my fault. But a lot of the technology that they were planning out, they wanted a fail-safe. And then I almost feel like because the fail-safe, this Clipper chip, ended up being, crap, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically giving a big major back door to the entire network, which was stupid. I'm glad they realized that was stupid. However, the thing is that, and this is what kind of adds to my whole conspiracy a bit, is if these guys were working on this back in 95, published a white paper in 96, they were already working on hardware, such as the Clipper chip, to provide a fail-safe for the entire network. There was mention of there being cryptocurrency regulation back then, but they had decided that there was no real reason for it yet. So my thought process is, what reason would they have to create this technology, ultimately shelve it? There's two quotes. Where's my other? This is my other hand. Yeah, shelve it. Everything is reversed with my camera, and I hate it because everything's off a weird angle. But ultimately shelve it. Why would we believe that Bitcoin as a whole isn't? I even watched another video that talked about the Illuminati. Ooh, tinfoil hat time. But it talked about the Illuminati and how, this guy, I guess, was like an ex-illuminated, like an illuminated one or whatever, some Dutch banker. And I'm thinking, quite frankly, if you were in the Illuminati and you had any real stance or position within that organization, you would not be on YouTube talking about it, brother. Like, I'm sorry, but to me, if the Illuminati is all powerful, running the world from a shadow group of like 8,500 people, one of those 8,500 people, their sole job is to get rid of people like you. So I just don't buy it, but he did make some very valid points. And he was basically talking about how the Illuminati has, played a role here. Okay, so here's the thing. When you look at clandestine organizations from, whether you call it the Illuminati, the Skull and Bones, the Freemasons, whatever, any of these clandestine secretive groups, okay? There are a lot of these people in government. There are a lot of these people in the judicial systems, financial systems, politics, you name it, okay? They're everywhere. And any one of these, like I know that groups like the CIA, NSA, a lot of these groups like to recruit from within like the Freemasonic ranks because a lot of Freemasons are good at what? Keeping secrets. And they have an entire global brotherhood network that, where they can be accepted as a brother and make new contacts and get involved locally and do, it's a whole network. So I guess my point is, if there are members of some of these shadow groups or secret societies or whatever, and I'm not trying to be super tinfoil hat here, but let's face facts, these groups exist. And it's very obvious that there are many people in our systems that are members. You're watching one. I mean, I became a Freemason years and years ago. I did file an honorary demit because we were moving. And I have not gone back to a local lodge to rejoin. I have not been active. But I have nothing against Freemasonry. And there are members of my family who are very high up in Freemasonry. And I think the lower levels, at least all the ones that I've been privy to, are very good for, charities and other benefits and things. That's not to say that there aren't people in the very higher echelons of the group or any other group that don't have the power to work with groups like the NSA or any of these other alphabet groups to create new technologies such as blockchain technology. My question is, if that were the case, did they not start on their regulatory process back then knowing what was coming because that would be too obvious that it was a government project? And they decided, you know what, let's hold off on this. Let's go ahead and drop this stuff out secretly. Let it grow organically on its own, and we'll just play dumb later. And then we'll drag our feet for a while and just pretend that we were completely oblivious to this whole. I don't really know. But yes, Corey, I am. So anyway, that's that. If you're interested in learning more, do some digging, like NSA blockchain, NSA Bitcoin 1995. You'll find all kinds of good stuff. And it's interesting. I found myself reading a lot of this stuff this afternoon, and I'm like, man, I had no idea. I've got to share this, because if I don't know, there's a good chance a lot of you guys weren't privy to this either. I had no idea that cryptocurrencies or blockchain even had a life prior to 2009. So to find this, it's like, okay, that to me is the straw that broke the camel's back. Seeing this, knowing that the NSA was working on this kind of technology, putting out white papers related to this kind of technology, went from a SHA-1 algorithm to launching it in 2009 on the SHA-256 algorithm. They might have had the idea, they were planning ahead, but the technology just wasn't in a position that, maybe their idea was a little bit ahead of its time. Because, think of the world back in 1995. It was, people were worried about Y2K. People were worried about all the computers and everything else shutting down in 5 years in the year 2000. I don't know how many of you guys remember that. But love the tinfoil hat crow shows. Yeah. This isn't tinfoil hat, though. This is real. This isn't like some made up conspiracy theory. This is real. So it is what it is, but I did try to find the white paper, and I have not found it. So, and then, you got the Clipper chip right there. This goes into all the technology of the Clipper chip, man. It breaks it all down. And I haven't dove completely into the Clipper chip, but I did briefly scan through some of this stuff, and I read some of it. And the whole thing, it makes me wonder, if they were working on something like a Clipper chip in 1995, 96, canceled this, who's to say that they don't have something like that that's much better, that you don't, that maybe it's software based? Because if you think about it, if Satoshi Nakamoto or the NSA or whoever's running this show has 1 million Bitcoin sitting somewhere that's never been touched, nobody knows who they are. That alone is a great deal of power. But it's also a long time to keep track of a wallet with that much stuff. I don't know if it's sitting somewhere in a safety deposit box, or where do you store 1 million Bitcoin? I don't really know. Has it been lost or damaged? Is it gone for good? I doubt it. But at what point do you bring that out? That's what I want to know. At what point do you say, all right, it's me. I'm going to go, buy a Ferrari with some of my, 1 million Bitcoin. But what purpose does having 1 million of those things sitting somewhere unused and untouched serve? And if there is some sort of fail-safe or backdoor into the blockchain networks, I'd be very, I guess how would you, and I'm not a developer, so I can't answer this question. Any developers out there that watch this video, I would love to find out. If you're going through the blockchain source code, is there any way to facilitate a backdoor or some sort of network-wide fail-safe should somebody want to interrupt the network completely for any odd reason? Because that's scary to me in the sense that, let's say in the future, Bitcoin does somehow manage to become a one world currency. And that's the thing too. The other side to that is Bitcoin started this whole thing. It's the granddaddy of it all, but there's so much newer, better technology than Bitcoin now. And so if society were to adopt a particular cryptocurrency as its official currency or fiat, like what does that mean if somebody actually controls the keys and that's not as open-ended or basically everything that has been driving the Bitcoin mission? I guess that's what I would be curious to find out if anybody's discovered that. All right, let's look at the chat and see who's yaying, naying, bitching me out, telling me they're gay for me. I don't know. Let's see what's up. Okay, I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Craig Thomas, $5. I don't know what that's for either. People are just throwing money at me. I don't know why. Thank you. Yeah, I knew the NSA was involved. Yes. Rockefeller family created Bitcoin. That one, that's stretching it for me. Check out Love for Crypto. All right. Oh yeah, and I also saw too. I Love Crypto, or Crypto Love has temporarily. I know it's temporary because he's addicted, but temporarily resigned from YouTube. You know, this bear market's just kicking everybody's butt, man. And it's, you know, you see people like, oh, you know, this person predicted this coin would be worth this much by this date, and this person and you. And look, we all made predictions based off of the tech, the market cap, the sentiment at the time, the team, the people involved. Every prediction on the face of the planet in 2017 was temporarily wrong. Welcome to the bear market. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, it sucks, but yeah, it's, you know, all of them are wrong for right now. But I do think we have a lot to look forward to in 2019. We just have to survive through it. We literally have to live through it. And you know, it sucks, but that's just kind of the way it is. I mean, you got to understand, we are at the ground floor. We're not just at the ground floor of a new company. We're at the ground floor of a new age. You know, we're at the ground floor of a new era of technology, and you just cannot expect it to go without all the very wealthy people in the world, the institutions, the big power players. They want their foot in. It's not going to get kicked off before the SEC and other government bodies throughout the world feel like they are more in control of it. It's just not the way things work. And so, yes, I think it was ignorant for all of us, including myself, to believe that the $20,000 Bitcoin was just going to keep going up to $1 million, and it was just going to continue to rise all the way to $1 million over the course of a couple years, 3 years, and that we were all going to be, you know, sucking down liquid gold from our platinum chalices. I mean, whatever the hell, right? But it's, again, you can't lose sight of the fact that it's the technology that drove the FOMO. And now you have an entire year's worth of ICO projects that are expecting to launch their main nets and the like over 2019. And as these companies continue launching their main nets and reaching their milestones, hopefully, the market will start to come around, the value of Ethereum will go back up, and these companies will get the funds that they needed. That's the thing that sucks. So many people bought into Ethereum with fiat currency, and a lot of them bought in between, like, I don't know, $600 to $1,500 to invest in all sorts of different things. And then the market came down. And then it wasn't necessarily about the price of Ethereum, it was about the value you could get. So if you could trade Ethereum for any other project, if you could trade it on a really good spread, and the altcoin that you bought with your Ethereum either held its value, better or longer than Ethereum did, well, then when you sell back to Ethereum, you have substantially more Ethereum than you started with. That's what I've always been focusing on. And then when Ethereum goes back up and down, but then you still have to wait. You have to wait and see, okay, well, how long is it going to take for Ethereum to go back to a solid value? And that's what all these blockchain companies are doing now. If they didn't sell, and it's like, it's hard to blame the ones that didn't. I know some companies, they basically liquidated their Ethereum after their ICO to get working capital. I mean, you can't run an American company. You can't really run a company solely off of crypto. So I know that a lot of companies sold some of their holdings for fiat currency, which gave them hopefully enough operating capital to get them all through the bear market, but some of them didn't, and so it's a really trying time for a lot of these companies, and it's really sad. And hopefully this whole waiting period, I saw the chairman of the SEC talking about the Bitcoin ETF and how his main concerns are the manipulation in cryptocurrency. There's manipulation in everything. It doesn't, like, that to me is a cop-out. I don't know what the real reason is that for all these delays, other than relationships. I'll just say that. Making sure or basically giving all of the powers that be the opportunity to get themselves established in the markets before an ETF, because the SEC's no fool. They know that if they approve this ETF, that is going to be the catalyst for the next bull run, plain and simple. And so they basically have until February 27th, as I understand it, to make the final decision. And you've got one person in the SEC saying, I think this looks good, we need to approve it. Then you have the chairman coming out saying, well, I like everything except the manipulation in the market. Well, if he's the SEC chairman, he knows as well as anybody else that there is no such thing as no manipulation in any financial market known to man, period. So what's the real reason? That to me, that's just something to put out into the public to give them something to chew on and taste for a while what's really going on is happening. And so I still feel it's very possible that this ETF passes in February. I do. But I don't know. Is it up to one man? Is it just up to the chairman? Or is it a vote? I don't even know how these things are voted on or decided upon. But I know that it's them playing these games and waiting this stuff out and making up this nonsense to continue dragging this out. It's causing a lot of people a lot of pain. I'm all for the regulation. I'm all for the SEC, but speed that shit up. I mean, it's like so many people are hurting, waiting, because the market is down. And the fact of the matter is, too, the price of Bitcoin today is not even really relevant to the news. There has been so much positive news on the market, but it does not matter. Do you know who moves the market? The traders. The traders move the market. And they are not trading right now. Volume is low. The traders want sentiment. They want to know that they have a public to sell to. They want to know that they can be going in and out of positions every day, making money. That's what they want to do. And right now, that's not really the ticket. And so we're not seeing a lot of it. With a few weeks still left in 2018, the total Bitcoin trading volume for the year has already crossed 2 trillion. Yeah, but that's true. But technically speaking, like last year when I was using Profit Trailer, I was using 2 Bitcoin for my bot. It's kind of what I funded my bot with. And I had like 6,500 trades over a period of like 3 or 4 months. And those trades added up to like 23 Bitcoin in volume. So having $2 trillion in trade volume doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot because there's still a lot of bots and things like that going. Bro, do you still think ADA will get up to $24? My opinion is yes. I just don't know when. I just don't know when. You know, I at the time it sounded like, yeah, it's absolutely possible given the current market conditions and where everything is at. But that was before the SEC kind of came in and just started pissing all over everybody and everything. And, you know, and it's like, now we're all just kind of waiting. Like, okay, what's the SEC going to do? How are they going to completely regulate the space? How are they going to secure the space? What are the actual laws that everybody has to follow? I saw the comment from the chairman basically saying something like, you know, cryptocurrencies need to fall in line with our current regulation, not force us to change them. And I thought, wow, that's craziness. That's like saying, you know, automobiles should follow the same laws as bicyclists because they already had those laws in place before we had an engine. It's the dumbest shit ever. So I don't know. I mean, you can slice that cake any way you want, but so much of the stuff that I've been seeing come out of the SEC recently has just been kind of silly. Found the NSA paper. It was 1996, not 1995. MIT, of course. Oh, you posted a link. I'll actually do it on this because it can be. All right. Oh, I don't know. That's huh. June 18th, 1996. Here it is. This is electronic cash. Wow. I'm going to have to read. I see now that I have this, I have to read the whole damn thing, but I'm not going to read it. I'll have to check this out, but there's no secret. Look, anybody that thinks that some Japanese man or some Korean guy or whatever, Chinese guy, I'm not even sure what Satoshi Nakamoto, I think it's Japanese. Yeah, I've never once believed that it was just some random guy that created this whole technology, somehow managed to get it out over this short period of time. It would just make no sense. So man, they even have equations in here and everything. This is interesting. So that's cool. Thank you for posting that, Ian Green. I appreciate it. I actually know an Ian Green. I doubt you're the same guy. You don't have a sister named Shay, do you? Let's see here. You're the best crypto channel without a doubt. Oh, well, thank you, Corey. I appreciate it. The money, they knew it was coming down to money. Maybe Satoshi got a burn notice, and that's why he hasn't been heard of lately. SHA-1 was the standard back then. Yeah, isn't that crazy? SHA-1. You're the man, Crow. Well, thank you, Ari Jordan. Crow, I know you know who Tika Tuari is. You and everyone else should watch his video who is buying Bitcoin right now. It's really interesting. Yeah, I've actually had some people send me some of Tika's videos. You know, I mean, according to Tika Tuari, the Bitcoin ETF is a done deal. Like, I mean, if you listen to him and all his sources, you know, according to him, the ETF is pretty much a done deal because the institutions are already lined up and ready to rock, and there's a lot of pressure on the SEC to get this passed. So we will see. I don't know, but yeah, I remember when I first heard of Tika Tuari, I was skeptical about him, and I did a video about it. I'm like, I'm kind of skeptical of this guy. Like, who goes out and charges like $2,000 for a newsletter? And at the time, I'd never heard of him before, and but I was wrong, man. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. So, you know, he you know, I never bought his newsletter, but I have read some of them, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of legwork that goes into this. I'm sure he has a team of people that help. I doubt it's just him. As a matter of fact, I actually just met with somebody who just had dinner with some folks, and I was talking to this guy, and it turns out he owns basically a fintech sentiment company. So, you know, a lot of you guys love like Cliff High, right? And so this guy created software similar to what Cliff High does, but they basically sell that data to fintech traders. And so he and I are going to be meeting again soon, I'm sure. Actually, I should probably text him. But super cool dude. And we were talking about their software, their system works with crypto. But he said, you know, your lead time in the stock market could be 30 days, but your lead time using the same software in crypto is only like a day or two. So basically he was telling me, you know, like you have to act quick, like if you're going to use their software for crypto. So I told him I wanted to check his system out and I want to look at it, but he does very well and he's a sharp guy and he knows his stuff. So I'm very curious to see what his system does. Hey Crow, today is my Bitcoin birthday. 1 year ago today, I bought my first $100 worth of Bitcoin. Well, congratulations, Francis James. The first day he took the blue pill. Blockstream is controlled by the Bilderberg Group and the banks. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The banks control a hell of a lot. I mean, they technically control just about everything. John McAfee for president, Crypto Crow for vice president. Wouldn't that be the day? Yeah, it's funny. I would totally run with John. But I've never even talked to the man. But just, you know, I think, you know, what John's doing is he's not even trying to become the president. There's no way in hell. And he knows this. But he's a character. I like John McAfee. I mean, look, man, the guy's done his thing. He's living his life. He's just enjoying it. I mean, he's a rebel for sure, but now he's a rebel with a cause. And his cause is crypto, and I salute him on his mission. He's made a lot of money in the crypto space with his name, but you know, I would totally run with him everything he's trying to do right now is just to build more awareness of cryptocurrency and try to educate people on all the bullshit. And yeah, like if I were to hang out with John McAfee, I don't know if I would have the time of my life or be completely annoyed. I'm really on the fence about that. Because something tells me he's one of those guys, like, he's just a crazy-ass, drunk-ass alpha male, and he'd probably either have you jumping off of cliffs or skydiving after doing blow. Like, I don't know. Like, I think having a personal relationship with that man would probably not be good for me. But yeah, we'll good on him anyway. McAfee needs to get a better cook. He keeps getting poisoned so often. Has he been poisoned again? This is craziness. Yeah. You are McAfee Jr. 30 years ago. I don't know. I'd have to look up McAfee 30 years ago. That's craziness. 38.92 Bitcoin. Ethereum's at $108. Look at the 7-day biggest. Centrality. I have never even heard of this project. Waves up. Okay, Waves is up 51% over 7 days. That's pretty damn good. I actually talked to one of the guys on the Waves team at I think it was in New York. Bitcoin private. Theta token up 36%. That's cool. Theta was one of my reviews, and I liked Theta. I thought it sounded really cool. Decentraland, I still have my mana token. I like Decentraland. I mean, there's some cool stuff in here. Basic attention token. I like basic. Aeon up 19. It's crazy because when I first started mining Aeon, it was like 40 cents, I think. Now it's down to 14 cents. I had to shut my miner down while I was doing this video. But Still love my Aeon, man. I think Aeon's going to do big things. Icon down to 24 cents. It's crazy because Icon at 24 cents is still more than double what it was at ICO. Man, I currently do not have any Icon. I need to get some Icon. Cardano, oh, just hovering under 4 cents. OX. All right. Pundy X. Let me see. There's a project I met, Divi Coin. I don't know how many of you in chat are familiar with Divi. I can't remember. Divi is a true crypto wallet, not accounts. I have to look at my I think this is, yeah, this is it. So I actually met the founder and the lead developer, Nick, in Vegas. And super cool dude. Very smart, very down to earth. And then I actually had a conference call with, yeah, there he is, Nick. Yeah, I basically talked to all these guys on a video chat. This guy is pretty fun. This guy, Jeff, is working on something. Let's just say, well, see, I don't want to say it because I don't want to give it away if he does do it. But if he does it, we'll have a really viral video. But anyway, I mean, these guys are legit, man, and they're really working on this project. And I told him I was going to look more and more. We were actually talking about creating a Crow coin as a fork of Divi. And you know, they were talking about helping because they know that, like, my plan, one of the things that I've really wanted to do is create a Crow coin, but I wanted it to work, you know, kind of like with a built-in write-off for people that helps charity. But man, that has turned out to be like one of the biggest problematic situations, and these guys would probably be able to pull it off. But you know, they were like, look, and they were going into everything that their coin does now and what they're doing with their project. I don't think at this point I'm going to be doing the Crow coin with them because I think that's going to be reserved for something else. But yeah, I mean, I thought this looked like a cool project, and they are at 0.0005 cents. What's their all-time high? 0.015. That was in November. No, their all-time high recently. 24-hour volume, 26,000. Huh. So anyway, you can check out Divi if you guys are interested. All right, we're at an hour, and I'm going to go ahead and call it. I am hoping to do another video this week about some really cool shiznit. But we will see. We will see. So I'm going to go eat, folks, and I don't know. Hopefully it's like a little fun. I just wanted to kind of get online and do something. It's Monday. I hate Mondays. I will say that I'm, you know, I've got a trainer that's been helping me. I'm doing all kinds of stuff, like with, you know, I've been doing yoga, believe that or not. You see my big ass doing yoga, it's a sight. But I'm doing a lot more planks. My planks are like double, triple where we started. Just working on my core right now because of my back and everything. I have not had a testosterone shot in over 2 weeks because the way Hawksworth Blood Center works, man, there's like all this policy and process about having to wait so long, and I can't wait that long for these stupid blood draws. So I'm just restructuring my whole being. So, but I've got a trainer that's helping me out, and he's actually my old roommate. He just won like a big bodybuilding competition recently, and he's like a doctor. Like it's crazy because, man, like we were crazy as shit back when we were roommates in like my early 20s. And but he's a doctor and he knows his stuff, and I'm actually going to be helping him launch his own YouTube channel soon. for his business, which is called M-Train. And his name's Marco. And he's working with me now, and I'm kind of like a test bed for him. But we're gonna do a Udemy course. We're gonna get him started on a YouTube channel, and I'm gonna start bringing him on for like health updates, not just on me, but different ways that you guys can kind of help take care of yourselves. And he's extremely open-minded. He's not like hardcore Western medicine, hardcore Eastern medicine, but he's done a lot of different stuff, and but I think he's somebody that everybody will enjoy and learn a lot from. So, and he's been helping me too, because my back has been getting better. CBD oil gets me feeling just a-okay. I want some. I want to try it. I do. I still haven't tried that. All right, folks, I'm going to call it an evening. I thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Go do some more reading on the NSA. Let's go just Google it and read for like a couple hours, man. It's crazy. So I'll see you soon. Crow your coins, folks. Have a good night.